From behind the scenes to the spotlight, we're chatting with Eric Parkinson, who has stepped in front of the camera to play Father Bernard in the indie thriller called Holy Song. Eric, let's talk, because you went from being behind the scenes, right? You've produced,
right.
You've been there, and now you're in front of the camera. You're on the screen. What was that transition like for you?
Well, you know, I mean, it was kind of interesting. I've been a film distributor since 1984 and began producing movies at about the same time. I produced 65 movies and a lot of big jobs and big films I've handled over the years, including Terminator and Best Picture winners Platoon and The Last Emperor. And then COVID happened and all the theaters shut down, and all of a sudden it was very difficult to be a movie distributor because all the theaters were shut. And I've heard about Martin Scorsese making the film in Oklahoma, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah,
I thought, you know, I've produced a lot of movies. I'd like to start directing, and I want to see what magic he does. And I contacted them, and they said, well, it's a closed set. You can't show up. You know, you can't observe.
Right.
But maybe you could be in the background. So I signed up to be in the background as a way to get on the set.
Oh, nice.
And on the very first day, he came up to me and he said, I think I know you from something in the past. I go, well, actually, we've met in Hollywood. And he said, well, I want you to be the deputy marshal. So I did 11 days on that movie. Instead of being in the background, they moved me right up front. And I thought, wow, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And at the end of the shoot, he said, you know, Eric, you're great on camera. You're a natural. You might want to consider doing that. And I thought, well, you hear that from Martin Scorsese?
Yeah.
You better do it.
Yeah, you better do it.
You better do
How
it. That's
cool.
right. Tell us about Unholy Song. What's the movie about?
Unholy Song is based on the miracle of the Gerasene demoniac. It's a story in the Bible where Jesus cast out the demons, 2,000 demons into the bones of the swine. It's in Matthew 8, 28 through 32. They set it in Northern California. They contacted me and they said, hey, Eric, would you like to play an exorcist? And I said, yes, please. I mean, if you're an actor, that's got to be one of the great roles. You know? If you think back to Max von Sydow in the original Exorcist movie, it was like such an iconic character. And so I went to Northern California. We shot in Sacramento, San Francisco, Stockton, Lodi, all those little areas around that, the Bay Area. And it was a lot of fun. You know, my character's a little bit of an unconventional exorcist. The back history is that he's been not excommunicated from the church, but maybe chastised and pushed into his own little segregation because he's too much into demonic possession and exorcisms. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun, and the movie opens in 2 weeks. Yeah. Actually, it opens a week from this Friday here in Northwest Arkansas. We'll be at the Malco Razorback. We'll be at the Fort Smith Malco and at the Rogers Pinnacle Point.
Yeah, and that's on the 28th, is that right?
That's the 28th,
February 28th. Okay, yeah.
In fact, I'll be there on the 28th, and also, you know, we've been given some free tickets through Malco.
I love the story of you being on film. We're going to have the opportunity to see that one on the 28th, both in the River Valley and up here at Malco Razorback. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Filling us in.
Absolutely.